Bulls have 3 seconds to try a shot and try to win the game.
This is the Notebook Wagering Show on the Wild Style Network. Here are your hosts, Q, Smitty, Matt, and J Cam.
Hey, it's Wednesday night. It is Notebook Wagering time. The guys are in studio.
Jesus, technical difficulties
already. Oh, my
already.
goodness. Hey, that happens. That happens.
It happens.
Hey, again, it's Wednesday night, fueled by Monster Energy, live from the Salisbury Center. I am Smitty. I got my man Q next to me, and we got Matty back in Pittsburgh with us. Q, how are you doing tonight?
Excellent. I got a winning week, so that was good. I had 2 bad weeks, bounced back last week. It felt good.
It's always good to have a winning week. Nails.
Listen, it was sink or swim.
Yeah. That's the life. That's us being a grinder.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, you got to be a grinder every week.
Yeah. 2 things. I was either riding off into the sunset or right off a cliff.
Thelma and Louise. Got to go right over that. And if you go off the cliff, then you got to just bounce back.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
I was going to be reincarnated like the Undertaker does.
Yeah, you just bounce back.
Yeah.
It's always that. Matty, how's the Pittsburgh life treating you, my friend?
Uh-oh. Matty's out. You don't even hear him. Well,
all right, sorry.
There he is.
You got me there?
Yeah, there
he
is.
is. All right. So, but as I was saying, Pittsburgh life, so. But I know we're going to talk football tonight, but it's really Red October, boys.
We're not
It's
talking
Philly.
about those Phillies. What is a Philly?
Dude, I'm gonna pose a question to you.
Yeah.
If Harper wins the series with the Phillies, and say and this is all hypothetical, and say he were to retire tomorrow after they win a World Series, would he retire a Philly or would he retire a National?
Don't ask a dumb question. You already know he's going to be a Philly.
Okay.
He already said he wished the Phillies drafted him.
Well, hey, look at that city, man. It's electric right now.
Yeah.
The only problem is we can't get the Sixers over the hump to win a title, and the Flyers are just god awful. So we can let them out of any conversation about Philly.
I will say this. I think you guys got the better version of Bryce. I think you guys got the mature version of Bryce. I think if he would have been drafted, maybe out of college and not as an 18-year-old, I think maybe the cockiness, because there was and we'll get to football after this, but there was a left side that loved him and a right side that hated his cocky attitude. And he kind of seemed like he was for himself. You don't see that or hear those stories in Philly. And I'm wondering, he's obviously a father now of some children. He's married. He's a little older, obviously. I think you guys got the better version, and I think he would have been more welcomed or more appreciated in D.C. as from the fans and, maybe ownership as well as, teammates. We had Jonathan Papelbon choke him out. You're not hearing that in Philly. So I actually, I wish him all the success. I don't think he worked out in his current situation in D.C., and I think he's working out very well in Philly. So, props to you guys for getting him at the right time.
I'm just upset because I was going to take 2 teams, Matty, really quick. I was going to take Toronto to win the World Series or the Phillies, and I just stayed off both. Now, again, we'll see what the Phillies do.
When we talked about it all year, I always said I thought the Phillies had the best shot and the only shot in the NL to beat the Braves.
Yep.
And they did.
2 straight years.
Yeah. However, I didn't think they'd run into the Diamondbacks versus the Dodgers, and I was a little worried about that. But it's looking good. They seem to have the it factor right now. So
I agree.
Can I just say, because we're gonna dive into football here, but the 2 teams you had Baltimore. A great season again. I mean, listen, I'm not trying to bash Baltimore but they didn't do much at the trade deadline. And we talked about it on the show. They got Flaherty out of St. Louis.
I think they got 1 reliever.
And they didn't, and I was okay with that, but it wasn't that splash. Dodgers was another team that we talked about on this show during the trade deadline. They had the hitting. The pitching was iffy. What did they do?
Dodgers are old.
Lance Lynn.
Yeah, Dodgers are old. Look at their guys.
And we talked about that on this show. About that wasn't enough. And I hate to say it, you saw it wasn't enough. Maybe those teams should have did a little bit more, but hey, again, Baltimore should be built for a long run, and I hope they do great things down here, for the fan base and everything like that. So, all right, let's get into it.
Well, I want to give one last shout out. Brenton Doyle, Manassas local.
Yes.
Matt, this kid, he was Manassas local, played at Shepherd, got drafted in the 4th round, got called up earlier this year, like end of May, early June, I believe. Yeah. And he's a Gold Glove finalist in center field. Kid's electric. So give a shout out to him, rookie season Gold Glove finalist, very deserving. Hopefully he gets it on the NL side. So we'll kind of keep you updated on that. But even to be a finalist is pretty incredible as a rookie.
Yeah, good for him.
You don't hear Shepherd College or Shepherd University very often.
Good
you heard
ball,
it twice this week. Just now, and then the quarterback for the Bears.
Yeah, that's right.
Bears.
Yeah, hey, great athletics up there.
Yeah,
it really is. I mean, they're in the PSAC.
They're not in the PSAC,
No.
but Slippery Rock has played them in the playoffs.
Okay,
Yeah,
very,
I
very
don't
good
know
teams.
what.
Okay,
Yeah. Again, Slippery Rock, where myself and Matt went, very good football program.
Yeah.
Very good baseball program, too. They got good athletics up there, Division II school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they run across them sometimes. And that Slippery Rock is, I think, ranked, Matty, if you're falling 10th, I'm going to try.
I don't know. They're good again. They're really good.
They're
again.
very good
Have a
again.
look.
They're very good again in football. So keep going here. All right, boys.
Let's get into week 7.
Week 8?
No, week 7 recap.
Oh, we're going to do a
Yeah,
little
you want to
recap?
talk about the Oregon game?
No, I was going to just bounce when we talk about the game. All right, yeah. All right, we can bounce that game.
Hey, well, first off, before we do that, Moneyline Parlay winner.
Oh, winner.
We got to start
everybody.
off on a great foot.
Yeah, that was
2
nice.
weeks in a row, Matty.
2 weeks. We're going to do another one. Do another one here. I'm going to have to go third on that because I'm struggling on that here tonight. But yeah, we have hit that. But no, let's just recap that game really quick. That was one last week that I was kind of leaning towards Oregon, and that's why you should always follow our Twitter because I changed up on that. I did take Washington money line. But hey, I'll go on a little rant with this one. I don't know what he was doing. I mean, and he's, we talk about Cristobal down in Miami and Florida doing some bonehead stuff. This guy does not like to kick field goals either for Oregon. They had 4th and 1 or 2 and they could have tied the game to go in the locker room, and they went for it, and they were getting the ball back. That's the thing. They were getting the ball back after halftime. They ran a play, didn't get it, left points off. Later in the game, they did another 4th down right at midfield. They could have punted, made Washington go. And hey, Washington went real fast because I was watching the game and I was like, you can't go too quick.
Oh, yeah.
Because both defenses couldn't stop
They have
it.
1:48 left.
Yeah, 2 plays. Penix touchdown pass. I was like, okay, that's great. We're winning, but this doesn't seem good right here. So overall, I just think, and we talk every week on this show about some of the NFL coaches making some bonehead calls. Man, I just think Cristobal did it 2 weeks ago at Miami, and this guy did it again. Matty, what's your overall thoughts with that game?
Well, you nailed it. I'm pretty sure that Lanning called up Brandon Staley, and they all fell down the tree of stupidity. Those morons.
Yeah,
these guys. I mean, hey, the rule in the game is let's put in a scoring attempt of a field goal. It's there for a freaking reason. Use it. Take the freaking points all the time. I mean, okay, 4th and a half from the 10 or something like that, but these guys are going for it way too often and not converting. It's killing them, and I hope some of these idiots get fired.
Well,
but I'm a huge Washington fan, and they were my bet preseason to go over win total. So I'm glad what they're doing. I do have not a concern, and it's a different concern. It's that Pac-12 is still pretty stacked, and what they have to go through yet. If they stumble, I'm going to feel bad for Penix because I think that could cost them like a Heisman shot potentially if they don't get into the Final Four, which will stink. But I think they are the front runners coming out of there, and I'd love to actually see them in because their offense is electric. They'll be a great team and a great follow going forward.
I don't know. I mean, even with the Final Four, you look at the quarterbacks of the teams that could potentially be in it. Penix has still got to be in that race because J.J. McCarthy's he's got a number, but he's not getting it.
I don't. I mean, Matt is too.
Beck's not going to get it if Georgia makes it.
I don't see McCarthy. I mean, McCarthy's having a great year, but I don't see a Heisman.
I almost disagree with you for the simple fact of I just named you 2 realistic teams out of the 4 that are going to make it. they're not even going to be in New York.
Man, you listen to some people. Like
I just don't. Yeah.
Dr. Brent shooting off and going, I don't know how good's Penn State. And I'm glad he said Penn State because that's his team. Then
Even their quarterback's
then he came
not a
at
Heisman
Michigan
guy.
and he's like, well, Michigan, why, who have they played?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and you look at people like Tim Brando, he releases Michigan, he has number 1. Kurt Herbstreit has Michigan number 1. A lot of people like Washington number 1. And again, I get this as a Michigan fan. They have not played anybody. But man, I'll say this on the show, man. The depth of Michigan is insane.
I saw a thing, they go like 10 deep on the line and nobody plays more than 30 snaps. They are deep. I will say this, and I've always said they're still slow. I think that kills them when they play these teams. They look slow.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I know
they beat you up.
Yeah, they beat you up.
But do you think Georgia's as fast as Georgia has been?
No, but I would still think Georgia's probably slightly faster. I think it's just what you recruit.
I'd agree with that as I wear my Georgia shirt tonight. The thing
I'll say this, and I don't mean to interrupt you. This is Michigan's best chance at a national title.
I think it's the best team.
Because I think
their best team.
Not only is it their best team, but I also think the field is their lowest it's been in a while.
Absolutely. I agree with that. But I mean, I'm just going to go. PJ Fleck said it 2 weeks ago. Deepest team he's ever even coached against.
Yeah.
Guy that did the game announcer last week when Michigan played, he said, it's amazing to be up here. They just run guys in and out on defense.
They're fresh.
And they're keeping them so fresh. They're the deepest team in football. Now, listen, I'm going to say this, and then we'll dive into this week's games. I'm not saying they got to go to Happy Valley, man. That's not an easy place to play. I'm glad it's a noon game, not a night game. I will say that. But I'm not saying they're going to go in there and beat Penn State. Even whatever Penn State does this week, Penn State could lose and still they could beat Michigan. But they're good. They're real good. And, I mean, if you're going to say Washington's better, I don't know about that. I don't know. I think the Pac-12 is good. I'm not saying Washington's better than Michigan by any means. So, Matty, any thoughts on that really quick?
You made a good point for if we're going to kind of switch up gears to the Big Ten. So this is Michigan's best shot. Now, let's run a hypothetical here. Let's run Penn State goes to Ohio State this weekend and wins. Michigan goes to Penn State and wins. So now those two have losses. Michigan plays Ohio State last week, loses. Who goes to the Final Four then?
I think it would come down to a point differential, right?
I mean,
who would go to the
West?
Who would go to the Big Ten championship? That's the first question.
The Iowa Hawkeyes in the West.
That's right.
You got the West.
We know Iowa's not going to win that.
But who from the East? If Penn State beats Ohio State, so Ohio State has the one loss, then you bring in Michigan.
It could be craziness.
And then Penn State beats Michigan, but then Michigan beats Ohio State.
I don't know.
Who, I guess, head-to-head, Penn State would get it because they beat Michigan.
I don't know. I'd have to look that up. I don't
know.
know.
The tiebreaker.
I have no clue how that is.
So, it's interesting.
All right. Well,
yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that. Obviously, that's next week. We got to get there. But to end the recap, I mean, the Louisville Pitt, that was a trap game. Pitt looked good all game.
Well, we said it
and
last
then USC.
Yeah, we said that on the show last week.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you should.
Well, I think that was. I brought up the point. It was the UNC same situation.
Yeah, but we said.
But I think UNC's legit. I think Louisville is kind of.
We said a lot of people were on that, and we gave that out to the audience. That's no. I said the under.
I stayed away from it.
It was bad conditions, and it was a high scoring game. I'll tell you right now, I haven't been on it, but Pitt's traveling down to Wake Forest.
I saw that. They're only 1.5 point dogs.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I think Wake Forest wins that game. I think everyone now is on Pitt going, oh, they're a good team.
I think they played up.
Just be careful on that one. All right, let's get into it. What do we got this weekend, boys?
Well, we'll get Scott to pull up Week 8 slate here, but we can start for the noon game. Penn State, Ohio State. What's the current line? It was kind of floating around 4.
Yep.
Yeah, so
still
it's
4.
Yeah, okay.
Still 4. I wrote it down this morning. It was a 4. I have
Ohio State -4.
Over under 47.
I saw some love on the under.
Well, here, you know why? Because I wrote this down too. There's maybe a shower in this game or two. Wins about 14. Gus can get up to about 30.
They usually play it pretty close for 3 quarters, and then Ohio State kind of pulls away. I'll be honest, I'm probably going to put maybe in a 2-team parlay like an Ohio State. I just don't trust Penn State until anytime I bet for Penn State, they screw me and they end up blowing the game.
It's like when I bet the Phillies, they always
oh my God, it's Texas and Penn State always screw me. But I'll bet against them and they'll win the game. That's how it's going to go. But I don't trust James Franklin in a big moment, especially not being in Happy Valley.
Do you want some numbers on James Franklin?
Oh yeah,
I got some numbers on James
They're gaudy.
Franklin. 1-11 top 5. He's 1-8 against Ohio State. He's 0-9 on road games against top 10 teams.
His only win was what, in Indianapolis?
No, he beat. They're 4. This is a good one, I thought. 4-14. He's 4-14 against Ohio State and Michigan. The time they won in Columbus was 2011.
Okay.
I got a sticky note for this.
Yep.
So the last time Penn State beat a top 5 team on the road, 1994. 14 straight losses in the last 29 years.
Wow.
Smitty, look it up. Top song, 1994.
It was 1994.
We did an 83 last year.
I did
or
that,
last week.
A little Hall & Oates with Virginia Tech and Wake Forest last week. And I have, they're 6-0. They've lost the last 6. And the game that Penn State won was in Beaver Stadium. They blocked that field goal late in the game and they won the game. And then they won the Big Ten that year. But again, even some Penn State fans that I'm good friends with, they said, wow, that was, I don't want to say luck, but here's the thing. And here's my recap. Here's what's going to happen here. Penn State's going to have to pound the football with the 2 running backs. They're going to have to control this. Ohio State is stopping the run pretty good. Do you trust this kid? I like this quarterback, but road games, true road games for this kid at Illinois, at Northwestern.
Yeah.
I didn't think he looked very good against both those teams.
Ohio State's rowdy. Not only the team, but the fans.
Now,
it's a tough place.
Good secondary by Penn State, Kenyon Dixon. And they shut down this offense. Harrison Jr. Are you sold on the quarterback at Ohio State? I don't know.
I think he's a game manager. My biggest question would be, do they get Egbuka back? I would imagine, because he sat last week. Is he done?
I don't think he's playing.
Okay. That's a big blow. I mean, because that's your bona fide number 2. Now, I'm sure they got the next guy in line. I'm not going to sit there and say it's a major drop-off. You still got a Harrison Jr., but that's a bona fide 1-2 right there. You lose your 2. But they do have a solid run game. They got, Mayan Williams and Travion Henderson. And I think McCord just kind of manages the game.
Penn State's good defense.
Very good defense, but I don't want to say McCord's bad. He might be the worst that they've had in the last 10, 12 years, but he's not bad by any means. I'd take him on a lot of teams.
Hey, we got Ken here. Ken says Penn State wins this week. Let's go blue.
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
James Franklin has to prove me wrong.
All right, I'm going to
go, Matty.
Matt.
What's your overall? Yeah. And then we'll do final prediction here on the game.
I actually think Penn State does get it done. And I think the injuries are too much. They're on their 4th string running back potentially. Henderson, Trianum, Mayan Williams, all dinged up. Denzel Burke's dinged up. And Q, you said, man, I don't trust McCord. As much as we don't like Penn State on the road, and we can't say we don't trust Aller yet. This is all new to him, kind of new to us. This is a monster game.
There.
I hate. I don't hate. I dislike both these coaches and their coaching styles. I don't think they're actually good coaches. They just have supreme talent, and they can't piece together a super team, even though they have the talent. Penn State can't get big plays. Ohio State just, I don't know. They're different under Day than they were under Urban. So I know we're doing the money line parlay. And I hope it doesn't
do it.
Don't do it.
Do not do it.
Do Iowa, do Wake Forest, do somebody else. Do not,
Matty, if you kill the potential 3-game winning streak, you're off next week. Suspended without pay.
Hey, I was off last week. I'm still part of the winning train, so
Do not do
there's
this
no
game.
change here. The problem is my money line parlay play was going to be tonight, but that won't work. That game starts in 5
you got time.
minutes.
You got time.
Yeah, you got plenty of time. Come on back.
I'm trying to multitask.
You know what'll happen.
I'm trying to talk.
He'll
and do
sub it
this.
out. He'll sub it out,
Do
and Penn State will win, and the substitution will lose.
All right, here's my
No,
prediction.
I'm going to stick with my guns. My money line play is going to be
Well,
from that
I am
game.
opposite of you.
Oh, you were going in this game.
No, well, I was not going to make it my money line parlay, but I don't think Penn State gets it done.
I don't either.
And I'll actually go. I actually trust McCord, and I am unknown on Aller for the simple fact of Aller might be the guy. We just haven't seen him. We saw McCord go against a very top defense in Notre Dame and come out in a hostile place and win.
Okay.
Didn't play electric, but he game managed.
I kind of agree with you here. I don't trust James Franklin.
don't.
Sorry, I don't either. I do like both defensive coordinators. Diaz, I think, is a great defensive
100%.
coordinator. Not a great head coach,
Nope.
great defensive coordinator.
Absolutely.
Knowles was Oklahoma State's, came in with Ohio State. I think he's fantastic too. I think it's a great game. I think it comes down to turnovers again. Can somebody not turn the ball over, maybe both quarterbacks, or like a punt and they fumble or anything like that? I think it's a tight game.
Well, last year that happened.
Yeah.
Late in the game, it was like a dumb pick or a sack fumble.
I think it's tough. I like the home field.
Yeah.
I do. I'm with you. I'm eyeing up another game to match this up with because I like doing 2-team money line parlays. I like Ohio State in this game. They've won 6 in a row in this. They will get the win. I'm going to match it with somebody.
Close. They're not
Close
going to blow
game.
them out.
I don't think it's a blowout. No.
Well, let's move on to the next one.
I think Penn State's a good team. Let's
Yeah.
go. Tennessee, Alabama. Man, I love this Bama team. And I really don't like Bama.
They're the worst Bama team, but they just grind it out, man. Like we haven't seen it's always been like they just out talent class you. You know, they out recruit you and they you step on the field and you're kind of defeated, except for the last 2 years with Georgia. I feel like Saban is actually having to coach again. Almost like his 07-08 teams where he had good talent. I'm not going to say they're not bad, they're a bad team, but you really had to coach. You don't have a Julio Jones. You don't have a Calvin really just, throw the ball to Tennessee, man. Great. It's weird. Josh Heupel, huge pass guy, kind of almost air raid-esque when he was at UCF, and that's what he tried to bring at Tennessee. They're a running team right now. It's crazy. They average like 200-something yards a game in the run. So it's to me, it's funny that you go from passing to run heavy. Bama's got a stingy defense.
They don't have the wide receivers like they did.
Well, they don't have the receivers.
They don't have the quarterback either.
Yeah. This is tough. I actually lean Tennessee plus 8.5 because Tennessee still has a very realistic shot to claim the East. Because if Georgia can beat Florida and Tennessee wins out, then it's looking okay if they just take care of Georgia. So I think Tennessee's still hungry. I don't know, man. I think Bama's probably going to get the win, but I think the 8.5 is just a little too much. I got this under a 7-point score.
All right, Matty, what do you got here?
You and I are on, except for that last game. I totally agree that you nailed it. Grind. This team is going to grind and grind and grind. They have no superstars, though. I mean, Milrow potentially could be, but there's no Mauler, All-American on the line.
No big running
Mauler,
back.
All-American nothing right now. You said Saban has to coach. Actually, I don't actually know if he remembers how to coach anymore because it's been so long.
Yeah.
And that's why they're winning ugly. And I think you're on the right track that maybe that's too many points for Tennessee, but there's no chance I'm touching this game because I actually feel like we're one big Jalen Milrow bomb away from like a breakout game because he does love to throw the deep ball. But
There's a beautiful
the only guy
deep
who's
ball.
out there the only guy who's out there is Burton, and dude drops more balls than he actually catches. So I don't know. Yeah, I think you're on the right track with Tennessee, but I'm not touching this one. Smitty?
All right, man. Ken says don't like Milne at quarterback.
Well, they're a running team, so they've taken the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, I said this on last week. I said it on our other spot we do with College Insiders. I said, Joe Milton has an unbelievable arm. They do some quick bubble screens, let it rip sometimes. And I have in my notes again, here's the question mark. Joe Milton on the road. You saw him at Florida. It wasn't pretty.
No, but I'll say this. He had a depleted line at Florida, and Florida was manhandling the line.
No, you got to give credit to the line, though, because we said last week, man, Texas A&M's line has been dominant. They did well. It
was a nasty game.
We had Tennessee last week.
Yeah, we had Tennessee, yep.
We loved Tennessee last week. We gave it out. But listen, 2 years in a row, can they win this game?
Well, last year was a shootout.
You're
not going to see that score.
52-49.
Not going to see
you're not
that.
Going to see that at all. Not at all. Conditions are fine. There's no conditions.
I have this like 24-20.
Yeah, I think it's a tight one. But, I like this Bama team, and I'm not a Bama fan. I love the quarterback. I think the kid's tough. I think he throws a great deep ball. I think they have weapons. Here's the thing with this. The line's a little high.
Ooh, really?
Higher than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be tighter.
I think giving Tennessee 8.5.
Do you mean the spread, Smitty, or do you mean the total point?
The spread. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The spread. Yeah. And I like teams. Man, Bama did not look good against Arkansas last week.
Bama didn't look great against Texas A&M either. They just did enough. A&M kept them in that game.
See, I thought they looked okay in that game.
They didn't look bad, but A&M kept them in that game.
Here's my thing. I think Bama covers. I like Bama in this game. I don't trust Joe Milton on the road. I think they'll play better. That was weak last week. What I'd do in this game, you know me.
Tease it.
I like teasers.
You tease them down.
I don't even care about college. I know everybody hates teasers in college. Could this be Friday? Everybody, check out Friday. I don't know. We'll see. I got a couple things in the bag here. Let's go. I like Bama down in a teaser. Bama wins this game.
I agree.
I was going to match him with Ohio State and Bama to moneyline parlay.
I like that.
I might still do it. It wasn't the greatest payout.
I'm more confident that Bama wins than Ohio State.
Oh, I like Ohio State too. But
all right,
I like Bama.
Let's move on.
Bama wins the game.
What Cam Ward do we see this week? That's the question.
I think what you're seeing right now.
18.5 point spread.
About 3 weeks ago? Would you have thought that?
No. I mean, 3 weeks ago, you capped this game, and I would say the line is 10.5.
Oregon's 4-1 last 5.
Probably 10.5, but I mean, you're getting 8 extra on that.
Well, this is what I heard.
And then what Oregon do you get?
I think you'll have an Oregon team that's
motivated. You do get to come home.
I think it's a motivated Oregon team.
Well, they're still in it.
Yeah.
The schedule's a gauntlet. Like Matt said, you're still in it in the Pac-12. You took one loss. You could see them again. Because remember, they don't have the divisions anymore. It's just top 2.
Yeah.
So
they're okay. I'll say this, then we'll throw it to Matt here. Oregon's 4-1 last 5 in this. I think you're going to have a motivated team. And what I heard on some shows is what they're doing is they're only rushing a couple guys at him and they're dropping back more guys. And he's struggling.
Who, Cam Ward?
Yes, yeah. Figuring that out. So, Matty, what's your overall thoughts on this?
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm the jinx because Cam Ward is my fantasy college quarterback, and I've played him the last 2 weeks. And he's just absolute garbage the last 2 weeks. So this week, I'm not going to play him, so he's due for a rebound game.
So I should take the plus 18.5.
Yes, I think so.
That's a lot of. That's a lot of points. Okay, keep going, Matty. I'm sorry.
Ton of points, and it's like this is 3 huge games in a row for Oregon. It's kind of like that USC effect. Hey, yes. Are they going to run the gas?
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I think it's the Cougs are the player.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on what Cam Ward shows up. If he plays anything close to his capability, they cover. I think they probably lose by 14. But if he just comes out and he looks like he has the last 2 weeks, I could see it being like a 42-21 Oregon cover, and I would not be surprised the slightest bit.
Well, if you have the head coach calling those great plays again.
Yeah. This is a stay away because I think it's a weird line. Like the 18.5, man.
That's tough.
They lose by 17, you cover one way, but you win by, 42-21, what they call like football scores, you cover the other way. This is, to me, it's a stay away. Just kind of watch and see because I think Cam Ward's such an X factor. It's just really hard to kind of understand what you're going to get out of him, especially like you said with Oregon playing back-to-back big games. There's too many factors that would make my money hesitant here. I think there's better plays on the board.
I agree with that.
Should be a good game though. Scoring.
I think there's better.
I mean, I think you could make a point for an over because Oregon's going to hang 35. They have it, I think, every week.
Oh, they score. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're going to give up some points. So,
well, you'd think
you have the
Washington State's laid some stinkers.
That's true. That's true. All right, it's a stay away for me.
It's a stay away right now.
Sounds like we're consensus on that. Matt's not playing Cam Ward on his fantasy, so that is a nugget specific to the Notebook Wagering Show.
And jump on him. And if you have another college team, jump on him.
Get that on VSiN. Per Notebook Wagering, he is not being started on fantasy team.
All right, we got Duke. We got Duke, Florida State here.
Another stay away for me.
Yeah, it's a stay away. I mean, looking at this, I think Florida. If I saw this right, Florida State's 21-0 against Duke.
Here's the question, though: is Riley Leonard going to come back?
Yeah, it's a question mark.
If he now here's
I don't think he'll be back this week. No way.
I don't either, but I do think if you did take the 14.5 with Duke and then he comes back, I think you're looking pretty.
Well, I have in my notes,
But
and I'm gonna.
if he's not playing, I think.
I do have in my notes. Their defense is good. Duke's defense is good.
Yeah, but you got to score, man.
But who have they played?
Yeah, exactly.
Now they scored.
You play Clemson.
They scored last week against. Yeah. They played NC State, if I'm off the top of my head correctly.
Yeah, but NC State and Florida State are two totally different teams.
Absolutely. But they did score. But I mean, they haven't really played anything. You do have some question marks. Wilson, the wide receiver, Florida State is questionable in this game, but they have so many weapons. Coleman's playing an unbelievable.
Next man up.
Duke has to slow this game down. They got to run the ball. They got to keep Florida State off this.
Florida State will let you score too.
I mean,
they've given up some points.
I'm sorry.
Stay away from me.
It's a stay away from me.
Should be a good game. If I think it's worth watching.
Oh yeah,
maybe on a side TV if you got multiples.
Absolutely. All right, Matty, what do you got in this one?
You want to know who my wide receiver in fantasy is?
Johnny Wilson.
Oh, I have him one of my leagues.
Yeah,
too.
I got the injury bug. I had Ward. I got my tight end blew out his collarbone. Riley Leonard was my starting quarterback. It's bloodbath out there in the league. Hey, but I'm
not doing well. Yeah, not doing well. But I actually think this is a Florida State play. It's time for them to get some.
Yeah.
Some love and some showcase points for this final run here because it's going to come down to them and UNC, I believe, in the ACC.
Yeah.
And there's still a potential for somebody to backdoor their way into this Final Four if the Pac-12 beats each other up. It looks like only one team from the SEC is going to go this year.
I agree.
Because Georgia and Bama aren't very impressive. And then you have the Big 12 or whatever it is anymore. I mean, do you trust Texas and Oklahoma in there?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so Florida State needs to bump up their – they've not looked great. And I think this is the get right week, and it's time for Jordan Travis to throw his hat back into the Heisman ring. I actually would I'd buy the hook and lay the 14 with Florida State.
I will say last week a lot of people thought they could maybe do a look ahead against Duke and then kind of lay an egg against a bad Syracuse team, and they didn't. I mean, they just went out there and took them behind the woodshed. So that was encouraging that they were able to do that, with Mike Norvell at the helm. And yeah, I mean, if Riley Leonard doesn't play, Matt, it's 100% right. I think it's a 17-point victory, if not worse. If he plays, I think you could catch. That's a hook play. If you got 14, you might push 14.5. You win. Because
if he plays, though, is he really healthy?
No, but I still think he's probably better than what is playing right now. I mean, I could be wrong. We'll see. It's a stay away from me because you just don't know what you're getting. And you also don't know is he 80%, is he 60, is he, we don't know.
I'm sorry. There's just better games on the board.
Yeah.
I mean, there's two.
Well,
To me, there's so many question marks in that game.
All right, let's move on. I hate to say this, but I actually might back my old man's team here in this next matchup. God, I hate saying it. I think Miami could actually maybe turn this around. They've had 2 really bad weeks. They do get to come home. They looked really good in the first half against UNC. Their defense is flying around. And then towards the end of the second quarter, they just had some dumb penalties, some personal fouls, unnecessary roughness, some after the play BS that really just took the wind out of the sails. But I'll tell you what, one of the best passes I've seen was Van Dyke. When he took that shot right into the ribs and threw that touchdown pass late in the second quarter, that was incredible. Kid's playing with two torn ligaments in his fingers.
Yeah, he's a tough kid.
I think Miami could actually get Clemson here at home and win outright.
I'll go Matty really quick because I did not really research this one.
Well, you shook your head. That means we're all in cahoots here because I agree, kid.
Okay, I'm on Miami. I didn't dive into this game too much. I think this is a great spot for Miami this week. That Clemson team, again, I was high on them coming in the season. So, again, I was incorrect on that, and that happens. But I think it's a great spot for Miami. I might even lay the money line with them. I'm on Miami this week. What do you got, Matt?
Ooh, yeah, I agree. I don't know if I'm going to lay the money line. I think you sprinkle a little bit on it, but yeah, I'd probably grab the 3. And I don't know. I think the bold move is to buy a hook, get a 3.5, maybe a 3.5, leave a 5. I agree. I think if you are a fan of college football with all these big matchups this week, you know what? If they're all 3-4 point lines, run a fun money line parlay out there and do it and see if you can hit a 4-teamer
or do a round robin with it.
Yeah.
Hey,
absolutely.
Last week, we're doing the money line parlay notebook wagering right now. That was a winner last week. I hit another one.
Yeah.
I hit a 3-teamer last week. Yeah, that's where, and I like it. I'll give another one out. I have here before we go to the NFL here, I have one. So we're going to give out another winner, except if Matt takes Penn State, then we might be
That's disgusting.
Loser.
I would say the only thing in this,
we'll see.
The only thing that does scare me with the Miami game is Clemson is coming off a bye, so they were able to have that extra week of practice, against Miami scouting report, where Miami had to obviously get up, play a big game against North Carolina on the road, and now you got to come back. That's my only concern, but I will say this. They only beat Wake Forest, Clemson, 17-12, and Wake Forest is horrid. So I like the lay in the points, maybe sprinkle in the money line, and then we'll just move on to the last game here.
Man, I called this last week. Didn't I say Notre Dame was going to boat race USC?
Yeah, you called it. I should have taken it. I mean, you had me. I even said it leaving. I was like, yeah, I think you might have sold me, and I just never put it on.
Yeah, I had money line on it. And I said it. I said it on another spot. That team, now I referred, here's the thing. I referred Notre Dame to Utah and said they'll just punch them in the face. They'll beat them up. And they did. And they did.
Yeah.
And we saw it. And overall, the offense, the defensive line, I thought did okay for USC in that game. The offensive line's bad.
Well, just got away from them late.
And you can't be throwing 3 picks.
No, that'll do it.
And he looked very. And did you see?
He wants part ownership.
That's what I was just going to say. He wants part ownership.
Dude, this is crazy. He's going to have a new stadium built in the contract.
I mean, are you kidding me? This guy, you're in college and you're Notre Dame Super Bowl. Yes, I did.
Yeah, you called it.
I said that. Yeah.
Ken, he listens.
Maybe Ken thought that too. Hey, Jeff, can I have a part ownership of the Salisbury Center because I do a show here?
Sure, my gift to you.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, everybody, I have part owner. You heard it. We'll get it out on a napkin here in a little bit. I mean, are you kidding me? This guy came out today.
This is crazy.
He didn't even look that good. And the kid's a talent. But here's the thing. Now I'm going to go 4-game win streak for Utah. They punched him in the face twice last year. Beat him. high scoring game. They only won by 1. I was on that. I had money line. Utah won 43-42 in the season. And then out in Las Vegas in the championship game, 47-24 was Utah in that game.
Now they did have a different quarterback.
And here's the thing. I'm on USC this week. I don't know with the spread. I might do a teaser because their season is still there, guys. They lost to Notre Dame. It's not a Pac-12 team. How do they respond? How does Williams respond? Here's the thing with Utah. You hear again this week, is Cam Rising playing? I mean, how tired are we hearing of this?
I think he's messed up worse than people realize.
I heard he might redshirt.
He would have already been playing if something was normal.
I heard on a show
they said
he's gonna redshirt.
Yeah, something's not normal. He's not playing.
And if he does,
it's USC -7. I think I would probably buy the hook to get 6.5.
Oh yeah, I love it. What did I say?
Hey,
Bama?
I like the over.
I like Bama. What did I say in a teaser? Bama.
Yeah,
I like.
You
USC.
like Bama USC?
Yeah,
I like the over in this as well because USC is going to score. I mean, he threw 3 picks and he still hung 21 points. Utah is going to give up points against Caleb Williams. It just is what it is. But Nate Johnson's going to be able to score on this USC defense. I mean, they're just not going to fix the problems 1 week later.
I think they'll score some. I'm just not. If Cam,
they're going to give you 20 to 28.
If Cam Rising's playing, how good's he going to be?
I don't think he's going to play.
Everyone keeps saying if he plays, well, when's the kid done anything?
Well, I don't think he's going to play. I think it's going to be Nate Johnson.
I don't think either, but I'm not sold on Nate Johnson. I think they'll throw some points on there. USC's still motivated.
They're just too leaky.
Their season's still there. They can win the Pac-12. They have one loss. They can have an argument. They can beat some teams. I like USC this week. Matty, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm officially a USC hater, though. Like, in more ways than one, even more so because of all this Caleb Williams nonsense. I'm not going to go to the NFL if I don't play for this team, and I want to be part owner. And Lincoln Riley, no defense. Come on, you're not going to win a title out there if you don't play some defense.
Hey, can I give you a Caleb comparable?
Go for it.
This is like Kyler Murray 2.0. Just with the demands,
I like that.
The Lincoln Riley connection, the demands, like, I'm controlling. I'm just going to come back if I don't like the team drafting, one. I mean, this is just Kyler Murray all over again.
Yeah,
soon Caleb's dad's going to be
I know you're making money in college, but you don't get too many shots to go play in the NFL.
No.
And who knows? The shot you do get, you better hope you don't get hurt in this next year coming up because dudes are going to be pissed. I mean, man, you're turning down a shot to go play pro your whole life. This is what you went for, and now you're back again because you don't like a team. I'd cut off a foot to go play there. I mean, he's gonna really tick. He might even tick some teammates off too. But Smitty, I think you're right. I think this is a USC rebound week. Rising, who knows? The backup just doesn't. He's good. You make good points too, but yeah, I would lay the points with USC here.
I think you could see to the over. It's 53.5, 35-21. You cover. Utah's going to be able to score even with their third string. I mean, this kid's not horrible. He's played all season. USC's defense is very leaky.
Well, I agree with you because if you go back to my stats here, last year 43-42, that was in Utah.
Yeah,
Utah won the game, high scoring game. In Las Vegas, 47-24 Utah. High-scoring game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're not going to hang 47 with Nate Johnson at the helm. At least I don't think they will. So that down
I don't,
some,
but
and you get an over.
I think you made great points. They could get in the 20s, and I think USC comes back and they score points. I think
both.
Utah's defense they can't be out there all game. I think
double dip.
There's too many. I love that teaser. Bama,
double dip.
And I can't stand USC either.
I don't either, but just because you got to take the money side, and I think we're all on that.
All right, let's go faster. We got to go fast because we got to get in the NFL here too. We're going to go a little long here tonight, but we're going to go quick here. Any leans, any plays? Q, anything you're on right now?
Circle back.
Okay, Matty, anything?
I'm pulling up the lines.
Okay, and then we'll do our money line parlay because we're going to win money for everybody again. Matty, are you on for the week right now?
Well, yeah, tonight I took UTEP money line to beat New Mexico State. They were actually getting points. I like Georgia Tech to cover against Boston College. And then here it goes, boys. It's Penn State money line against Ohio State.
Hey, you can play that on the side. Just don't put it in the parlay.
I can't believe
you don't know what I'm going to play yet. You're just asking me.
You're getting everyone's attention. I love it so much. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Seriously, play Penn State money line. It's worth it. It's the early game. You're going to be so tuned in and focused. You're going to come in and a super high, and then you're going to see that money line parlay we got sitting there, and you're all set. And I hate to say this last one, I bet Nebraska to beat Northwestern by 11.5.
I like it. I do have 2 locked in college plays. I'll just give them real quick. I have alternate total points over 58.5 in the South Carolina-Missouri game at -128. And then I have a teaser, 7.5 point teaser. I have the over 53 in that game, and then I actually teased Iowa to +4. I think Iowa just gets it done. It's just a disgusting game. That's -125. And then I'll have more, but those are 2 that I locked in. I really like that over 58.5. I even might do 2 units on that. South Carolina's going to score. Missouri's going to score. I see that game being in the 30s, so I think you're pretty safe there. But NFL-wise...
Hey, we're not there yet.
Go ahead.
Let me go college. All right, here we go. I got 4 overs. I'm 12-8 on the season. I'm going back. Louisiana Lafayette over 31.5 -120 against Georgia State. I'm going to go Texas against Houston. The Cougars, man, we're going to go Texas is going to score. They're going to score over 41.5 -130. Tulane against North Texas. I'm going over 40.5 -145. The juice does not scare me. Tulane's going to score points. And how about this team? How about UNLV? I'm going to go UNLV against Colorado State.
Where's Musser?
We're going to take, oh man, did I not write this down? All right, I did not write it down. I apologize on this, but guess what? It's over 34. Oh no, I got it. Over 34.5 -145. Don't worry about the juice. Lay it. And I'm not talking about the running Rebels with Larry Johnson and Stacey Augmon running the amoeba defense like we tried to run in high school. And guess what? I was not Stacey Augmon, and it did not go well. But here we go. I love those plays. I'm on Georgia Tech money line, and I'm matching it up with the Hawkeyes at +138.
I love that play.
I love that play. I love it. That's one of mine I'm going to give out, and that is it. But I'm going to add more. So always follow us on
Love
Twitter.
that play.
I was going to win that.
Iowa and Georgia Tech. What a dirty parlay. That is dirty.
I love being dirty.
That is a diamond in the rough. Go ahead and get the broom out. We're sweeping that. Oh, my Lord. I love that.
I might be
Was that +138?
138.
Oh, I'm on that.
All right, let's get that.
Put it on the card.
All right, boys. It's that time before you hit the NFL really, really fast.
Moneyline parlay. This is where Matt screws us.
Oh, I think he's going to go oppo on us. I think this guy is so he has another game in there. I have one, so I'm gonna let's hold Matt for last.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Yeah, you might have stolen it. I was gonna put Iowa.
Nope.
Okay.
I got somebody else.
I like Iowa.
Okay. So you got Iowa.
All right, Smitty, before you go.
Okay.
Am I putting this in?
Yes, you're gonna put it in.
So, all right,
we'll
so Iowa.
you the money.
Yep.
Smitty, before you go.
Go, Matty.
I'm not going to tell you anything, but if you pick my alternate team,
you're going to punch me in the face?
Nope. Then just hold on to your ass.
Oh,
so go.
Man. Well, because I have one or two. Okay, because
you hit me clean up. So I'm ready. I'm locked and loaded. I got 2 teams. I have a feeling you actually might grab one of the ones I like.
No, I don't think you do. I think I'm going to go. I'm going to try to find it.
You know who I was going to pick?
I got it.
I'll just give you who I was. I think West Virginia gets it done at home.
I looked at that too. All right, here's mine.
Okay.
UTSA. I like them against Florida Atlantic.
Ugh, what a nasty game.
I love it. Opened up at -1.5, up to -3. Harris has been back. They've been scoring points. They hit the team points over for me last week. I gave it out on this show. Another big winner. And
a late game.
It's a 6 p.m. game.
Okay.
6 p.m. On scores and odds, -160. UTSA will get the big win.
That is disgusting.
Matty, what do you got?
Well, I was actually hoping you were going to add Georgia Tech to your money line parlay. because you had them in that teaser. So for our own sake, I will play them and not Penn State. Georgia Tech money line is my money line parlay.
What time's that game? That's a night game, right?
I do not know. I think mid-afternoon potentially.
Right, I'm just trying to get it.
I switched scoreboards here, so let me look.
It is at noon. All right, so we have Iowa, UTSA, which I hate, and Georgia Tech is plus 276.
That's soft. It's a soft pick.
UTSA
on the road money line.
I love it.
All
They're
right.
favorite. They're minus 1.5. They're up to -3.
Yeah,
good
they are
line.
-3.
Good line movement there. Yeah, they're fine.
All
Harris
right.
is back. Good team. Everybody loved them coming into the year. Now everyone's off. All right, let's go NFL time. We got to go rapid fire here really fast. Hey, Thursday night, we got a game tomorrow night. You got the Jags against the Saints. Can I just say this? I keep telling you people every week. Saints, 15-1, last 16 in the under. Jack it up. Take the under. Carr is Mr. Checkdown.
All right, we're in.
He throws 300 yards, but he checks everything down and it runs clock. Now, Lawrence is a little banged up. I actually like the Saints tomorrow night, money line. I think they'll beat the Jags. But it's at, there's some low lines, over-unders this week, people.
Yes, there are.
39.5.
37.5.
I got, Scores and Odd has it at.
No. This was another game.
Oh, okay.
Even lower.
I would, again, I like Saints money line. Probably play it. Check my Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I like jacking this up. Not go crazy because it's so low, but 15-1 last 16 Saints unders. Matty, any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, same exact. You hit it on the head. I'm just going to tell you, except I'm not going to play the money lines. I'm just going to lay the one. If it's a push, it's a push. But I do think the Saints win the game. Lawrence is actually literally a game time decision. Doesn't know. And to be honest, I don't know who their backup is. And they've been very underwhelming anyway. So I think the Saints at home, right play, lay the point, take the money line. Either way, win-win.
I got nothing on that one.
Just some other nuggets. Man, I'm so upset. I had so many great notes for the NFL. And I'm in 3 nights of straight daughters playing volleyball. And I was on the road tonight, and I did not pack them. But off the top of my head, just keep an eye on the Ravens. And we're going to hit these games, but I'm going to throw these. I'm going to throw these out. Ravens are unbelievable first quarter. Keep that in mind.
Start hot.
Ritter is horrible, I think, first half ATS I saw on a show this week. Mm-hmm. Just trying to throw all these nuggets out for anybody that's going to listen to this show. So keep an eye on that. Just wanted to throw those out. Raiders can't score over 20-some points a game, but they win games for some reason. There's another little nugget. Just keep throwing that out. All right, let's go to, I'm going to bounce here. Let's go right to the Lions and Ravens. And another one I had, I don't have because I forgot my notes. Lions are unbelievable right now, ATS.
They lose this weekend. Good defense.
That's a great teaser spot, I think.
Good defense on the road.
Scores and odds.
They're not running as a one-loss team.
Goff could be MVP.
Yeah.
Goff is unbelievable.
But they're going to lose this
And
week.
here's the thing. I gave it out last week. I matched the Ravens game over in England with the Saints game. Ravens are an under machine right now, too. Yeah. They can move the ball. Someone had a great thing on the X. I'm going to call it the X correctly this time, not Twitter. They can go from the 20 to 20. Fantastic.
Great. They struggle. Field goal city.
They can't score. And they even said on VSiN, he used to always go for it. Now they're not going for it. They're kicking the field goals, which is smart. They're getting points, but they're just getting points.
Take Tucker's over points every game, and you're probably hitting at about an 80% clip.
Lions, their ATS is unbelievable. I'm sorry I left those notes at home. Unbelievable. Lower 42.5. I'll tell you right now. And I'll let Matty.
I think they get over that.
I don't know, because here's the thing. The Lions,
24-20.
No Gibbs, no Montgomery scares me. They're not running the ball. Can they do this? I would jack it up and take under 48.5 in this, and I'd take the Lions up. Matty, what do you got in this game?
So the NFL is really thin this week. We have a ton of injuries. Ton.
Yeah.
I mean, Ravens are playing with third string running back like Isaiah Keaton, Mitchell Keaton. Some of our Lions lost Montgomery. Gibbs is going to play, 15 snaps?
Yeah.
Hurt his hammy, and then it's Craig Reynolds. They still don't have all their wide receivers. This is ugly. Every game has a major injury impact on it. I think that's why the totals are so low. I actually don't want to play this game at all. I would probably take the Lions +3, I think, if I do. That's just a lean. I have nothing on it yet.
All right, let's go Commanders. Big win last week. They got outgained about 200 and something yards because Ritter just throws a lot of picks. And the coach is a bonehead, and Matt wrote that, and I wrote him right back because they were right there. Should have probably won the game. I thought they dominated the game in a way, but the Commanders got the big win. They go up to play the Giants here. You got Taylor, shockingly, they hung in the Sunday night game against Buffalo.
He was getting screamed at by.
What he was doing at the end. We talk about bonehead coaches. How about a bonehead play there? Had no timeouts, had time to maybe run 2 to 3 plays if they pass the ball. He audibles out of play. He runs the ball up with, I think, Barkley. He gets stopped, and they run out of the clock, and then it goes to halftime. So, little bit of line movement here with the Commanders. Man,
Love the Commanders here.
I don't know.
Love it.
39.5. I'd probably tease. I'm probably going to stay off this game. I'd probably tease the Giants up in this one. Matty, what do you got in this one?
Yeah. I can't play our squad queue.
Yes, you can. If you want to win a bet, take the Commanders.
No way.
You're wrong.
Because Rivera, there's so many bonehead coaches out here.
There are, but he's not the worst.
He's pretty close.
He might be the worst in this game out of him and Dayball, even though Dayball's completely reverted how good he was last year.
Yeah, but Dayball has nothing to show for it in terms of on-roster talent. Riverboat's got some talent over there. They're paddling along, baby.
But they got outgained by 200 and something.
It doesn't
yards.
matter.
Oh,
who do the Giants have? They're playing the Falcons again. Barkley? Who's the next guy?
Darren Waller?
Is he going to even play?
Yeah, well, he's playing.
He gets banged up all the time. Who's their receivers?
You're a lot.
Give me their two.
Isaiah Hodgins? Kenny Galladay?
Okay, there you go. Galladay's got more games on injury reserve than he does playing.
Can the Commanders block anybody? I don't know.
They don't have to in this game.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean,
I think this is an underplay, as dumb as that sounds.
No, I could see it's like a 20-17 here.
Yeah, but I mean, the over-under is 39.
No, I know. You're right on that.
Yeah, and that's why jack it up. That would be the smart play.
I think the Commanders win.
I mean, you could look money. I mean, you could
I'm playing it. I'm playing it.
Good.
I played them last week. Big winner.
I'll keep going against the Commanders.
I'm on a heater, baby.
I'll win more. With them losing.
All right. They've covered the last 2 weeks.
Let's go real fast. I think a great teaser spot, Seattle down. 7.5. Get them down to about 1.5. Match it up. One of the great. I think they play
better on the road than they do at home.
Geno has to get the ball out.
He's got to throw the ball to DK Metcalf. It's like the guy's not even on the team.
Well, he catches one, and then he does a dance or something. He gets a penalty every time too. So, but I think that's a great spot there. Matty, you like anything in that game?
That's one where you got to go to the well like Christian McCaffrey. It's play the Kenneth Walker anytime touchdown. It's 4 or 5 weeks in a row for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to punch one against this Cardinal team.
Yeah.
I
don't like the game, but give me a player prop right there.
I don't like this card, boys.
I think it's hard.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm in a pick'em contest with my brother-in-law, and I picked a lot of winners last week, but the points. I mean, the people that win had put out of 15 points, they had 13 on DC. I mean, are you kidding me? About made me puke.
The Colts game's interesting, depending on who's quarterbacking for the Browns. Browns should have never won that game last week.
The officiating's horrible.
Horrible.
That's San Francisco. And
they steal a win.
Oh, they stole a win, man.
Stole it.
Should have been 4th and 10. You don't know.
Now you don't miss the kick. It's a non-issue.
But it's a rookie. It's a rookie.
But they should have even scored those points on that 4th down when they converted. I mean, that was horse.
No, it was 3rd down.
Third down. But that was not pass interference.
Oh, hit him in the shoulder pad.
Yeah. So that was crap. But I like Gardner Minshew. Jonathan Taylor's back.
Well, Minshew looked rough last week.
I don't care. I like him better than PJ Walker.
Man,
Pittman's
picks.
okay. I just think they played last week against a really good team. If PJ has to come back and start, go on the road, I got to take the Colts here.
I'm going to, you know who else is? Old man in the garage. He likes the Colts.
This is a standby until
dog play
noon when you see who's in or out at quarterback for the Browns. Have your finger, put it in your bet slip. Have the Colts. Get ready to hit bet.
That'd be a good teaser spot too.
At noon.
Yeah, Smitty. Tease it up.
I like it.
Under 40, whatever, 46 it'll be.
Yeah.
Minshew versus PJ Walker.
Yeah.
No Chubb.
Yeah, 46. Good defense by the
Jonathan
Browns.
Taylor.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good play. I like that. I'd even do the Colts up.
It's going to be a small card for me in the NFL.
Oh,
I'll tweet it out, but it's going to be small.
Sunday.
Probably 2-3 plays max.
Oh, no, I'm firing all day.
You fire.
I
touch them all.
I touch them all, baby. Touch them all. All right, here we go. Let's go. I'm just going to go. Steelers. We got the Steelers heading out to Los Angeles, play the Rams. And I'm going to say the Steelers coming off a bye. I've said it on the show before. Tomlin has unbelievable as a dog. I think it's a good teaser spot for the Steelers. Old man in the garage likes the Steelers to win. I don't know if I trust the Steelers to win the game. I really don't. And here's really fast, and I'll let Matt fire on this one. I don't know about their secondary. I don't know how they can cover these guys. But if they can get with Highsmith and Watt and get to Stafford, then I think it could be a close game. I think it's going to be a lower scoring 43.5. I would take it up to 49.5 and take the under in that. That's my major thought. But I also like the Steelers up in this. I think it's a closer game. I'm not saying they're going to win the game. I think the Rams win the game. But Matty, what do you got?
How the hell are the Steelers 3-2? Is the ultimate question.
Because they were gifted wins.
Exactly.
I mean, the Ravens gifted them one.
I can't.
It's the Mike Tomlin way. Everybody.
Oh yeah.
They win games. They win games.
He'll get a 3-year extension out of this.
Oh God.
It's coming.
Smitty, aren't you so glad though about Joey Porter Jr. as the next Rod Woodson though? The way they're hyping up his stats because he's played 60 snaps or something.
Oh yeah.
I don't. I'd actually take Rams money line here. I think that's a safe play.
All right, real quick because we got to go here. So we're gonna. Any thoughts on this Packers Broncos game? Because it's calling me. It's calling me. None. Okay. You?
None.
Nothing.
That might be the worst game of the week.
I know, and that's why it's calling me. Okay. Dolphins Eagles, man, big game. I laid a bet on this. This is Q's team. He loves the Dolphins. Great offense. They have so many weapons, so fast. Love the play calling on that team. Tua is playing great because he gets the ball out. I jumped moneyline Eagles. I think this is a tough spot for Miami. I think the Eagles are going to be okay in this spot.
I like that because of where they're playing as well.
That was one of the big things. I love this Miami team. It's nothing against me saying Miami's not a good team. I think the Eagles coming off a loss is going to be tough. Hurts is a winner. He lost last week, played a horrible game. I think he rebounds. I think it's an entertaining game. If you look at the stats, scoring offenses, they're right there. I mean, Miami's number one. Philly's right there. Just a fantastic game. Can't wait for this game. Eagles money line. I jumped on it earlier in the week. I think I got a like minus 135. I like the Eagles in this game. Matty.
Upset special. Q, roll with your fins, buddy. I can't believe you're going against them. So the Eagles signed Julio Jones. Meanwhile, they need defensive backs and guys who can rush the quarterback. So if you're not going to rush Tua and give him more time with Waddle and Tyreek running around the hill with third-string DBs and Mostert, I think this could get ugly. And I still think Jalen Hurts is hurt. I think he has something wrong with his shoulder. He does not seem to have enough zip on the ball. His deep balls have way too much arc. It's that old thing we always say every show, every week, the Tecmo Bowl where it goes up over the top of the screen. It's like you can't see it. I think something's wrong, and that's maybe why the offense isn't clicking. I love the Dolphins. I love a money line, and I'll take that plus money.
The only thing that scares me is I got to see the Dolphins play a quality team again. I mean, they played the Bills and just got boat raced, outclassed. It could be the same thing with the Eagles. It's on the road, just like they went up to Buffalo. And
I think
that's what scares me.
Then, Q, then you really have to reevaluate your team. So if they're going to struggle against the big boys, and
I do think they are, because Vic Fangio's
I know. I hear you. But I think I actually do think they have a legit shot to win this game.
They're so depleted in the defensive back category, too. I don't see how they're going to be able to cover Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, because Xavier Howard's out. Jalen Ramsey hasn't even suited up for him. Coho's kind of he's either a pass interference or a deep ball guy. Like, the defensive backs, I could see this is a big game for Hurts in the air, because Miami has nobody to cover anybody.
What if you roll the over on the game then? So if the Eagles can't cover anybody.
Yeah, the 51.5 is pretty intriguing. Yeah. I don't see Waddle being covered, or Tyreek. And then, they should get Jeff Wilson back. He did sit out, I think, precautionary last week against a subpar team. So I think you get him back, Mostert.
I want to see those Eagles, those long drives.
No, see, actually, Ken's saying the coordinators have figured Hurts out. I kind of actually don't think so. I think he's just so talented. I more so actually lean towards Matt. I think there's a problem. Maybe not.
I just like how the Eagles can take long drives sometimes.
But I think he's hurt. That's the key. Not, obviously, he's Jalen Hurts, but I think he's actually playing hurt. I don't necessarily think that the coordinators haven't figured out. Because he's still effective.
I think it's a tough place. I like the home field.
I like the over.
I think it's a good game. And like I said, Miami is one of my I think Miami's a fantastic team. It's nothing against Miami. I think I like taking teams. And my one thing I said to Old Man in the Garage, that's why. And the Dallas game was an ugly game against the Chargers the other night, but they played so bad. I said Dallas will win that game, and I think the Eagles will come back and win this game.
Yeah.
I think it's a close game, but the Eagles will win this game. That's just my thought. And one more real quick before we get out of here. My thought, I'd keep an eye on Tampa. Tampa did not play, Mayfield did not play well, but I think they get it back.
Bring in Kyle.
-2.5 against the Falcons. I think the Falcons will struggle down in Tampa.
Especially on the road.
I like Tampa money line in that, or even the spread in that.
I like that.
All right, boys. Any thoughts?
No,
Matty?
Just money line parlay, Georgia Tech, Iowa, UTSA plus 276.
I love it.
Is booked.
Love it. Matty, any final thoughts?
No, I am good. I'm a little excited because I can finally maybe calm down from work and then really sit down and enjoy.
Well, you enjoy the Phillies games, buddy. That's what you.
Oh, I do. But then I get so worked up. I didn't go to bed till 3:00 the other night after that game won. I'm so hyped up.
And they won the game. They won the game 10-0. What are you?
No, the first one, game one.
Okay. I was like, goodness gracious.
Yeah, I mean, the next thing I know, it's midnight and they're eking out a 1-1 or one run win, and I'm like, God, I can't go to bed. So I just sit here, watch highlights and some dumb crap, and do grind for the show. And next thing I know, it's 3 a.m. and I'm like, man, I gotta go to bed.
All right, always
love the baseball, but
hey, if you're up that time, always keep an eye on Cinemax. All right, everybody. Until next week. Q, what do we always say?
Bang your bookies.
Thanks for listening to the Notebook Wagering Podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any episodes, and be sure to follow @Notebook Wagering. Until next time.